Years ago, it seemed that if you weren't a big company or an information hub, you would not even think about opening your own website. However, nowadays, setting up your own website is as easy as pie. That's all thanks to the various platforms all over the internet. But you might be familiar with one particular platform more than most. With WordPress, you can create your own website and blog in just a few clicks. Many brands and businesses have created their own websites using WordPress, and by doing so have driven up their individual successes. However, have you ever thought of who is behind the platform? Well, he's a man that goes by the name of Matthew Mullenweg. Who exactly is Matthew and what are his plans for the future?
Let's get down to business.
In short, content management systems are software that allows individuals or users to create, edit, and manage content on a website without them needing to know the nitty technical aspect of coding. And it's made the lives of tons of brands, businesses, and individuals all over the world much easier. Before we look at Matthew Mullenweg's life, let's take a look at his product, WordPress. Its precursor was B2 Kflog, or as it is more commonly known, B2 or Kflog. As of May 2003, WordPress's precursor was estimated to have been installed on approximately 2,000 blogs, and it was written by Michel Valdrigi in PHP to be used with MySQL. The content management system first appeared on the internet back in 2003 as a product of Matt's and Mike's little efforts. It was their goal to create a fork. In software engineering terms, a fork is what happens when developers use the source code of one specific software and develop it to derive a different and more distinct software. Mullenweg's friend, Christine Selectre-Mallet, came up with the name WordPress and suggested that it was what the two should name their new project. That was the beginning of perhaps what has been the most successful content management system in the world since its launch. In May 2004, the competitor of WordPress changed its prices. This radical change in the competitor's pricing resulted in the loss of thousands of users of WordPress. At this learning moment of WordPress, Matt looked for other solutions, but that didn't stop him. Not long after, WordPress was amongst the 30 most active sites in the world, with thousands of bloggers and people commenting and making additional posts. In 2007, Matt launched the Gravita service. By October of 2009, the open-source CMS market share report praised WordPress, saying that the content management system enjoyed the greatest brand strength of any open-source content management system. And it's been an incredibly useful tool for individuals, brands, and businesses all over the world. As of 2019, 27% of the top 10 million websites across the globe utilize WordPress. WordPress has also won numerous awards and accolades over the years, including a Bossy Award for Best Open Source Software, and a Hall of Fame CMS category in the 2010 Open Source. Matt Mullenweg was born Matthew Charles Mullenweg on the 11th of January, 1984 in Houston, Texas. I don't believe that Matthew foresaw that he would be creating one of the best content management systems in history, but he did know that he was passionate about two things: music and computers. He attended the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, and he studied jazz saxophone. In an interview with Pramod Shashidhara for the Mapping the Journey podcast, Mullenweg said that he began playing music at an early age, and it was a logical course of action for him because his father also played the saxophone. He also followed in his father's footsteps for the computer side, because his father worked in computer programming. Mullenweg recalled being so in awe about writing code and the power of programming, which he likens to building something. He did both music and programming throughout his teenage years, with music being the one that paid the bills. Matt started using Dvorak layout instead of QWERTY on his computer when he was a teenager. But the story of this transformation is quite interesting. He was reading a blog where he found a comment linked to a site about Dvorak layout. He started reading about it and got interested. After spending a few moments on the web researching this new layout, he decided to switch from QWERTY to Dvorak right away. Matt recalls how he never wanted to switch back to QWERTY as Dvorak helped him to type with less pain or stress. But Matt didn't throw his old keyboard away either. After installing the Dvorak layout, he just popped the keys off from it and rearranged them. At college, Mullenweg pursued a degree in political science at the University of Houston. However, he and Mike Little decided to start WordPress in January 2003 from the B2 codebase. This changed his life because he began to get more passionate about programming, and music became more of a hobby to him. Mullenweg was only 19 years old, and he was still navigating his freshman year at the University of Houston. However, destiny beaconed. He co-founded the Global Multimedia Protocols Group in March 2004, and he dropped out of university in October of the same year to pursue a job at CNET to work on WordPress for them. After a couple of years at the company, Mullenweg left to focus all of his energy on WordPress full-time. And the rest was history. In the Mapping the Journey podcast, he had this to say about WordPress's growth. It was very gradual, over many long days and nights. I think the main thing was, we would just try to make WordPress a bit better every day. A Bloomberg interview in April 2011 described the impressive scalability of the company. Monthly infrastructure costs were only $300,000 to $400,000 while powering 12% of the internet with 1,350 servers and 80 employees in 62 cities. The management of the global company excludes all internal email, but instead, communication is rooted in their p2theme.com blog theme. In July 2011, WordPress blogs passed the milestone of powering over 50 million blogs globally. Impressive. Matt has won several awards due to his achievements. Business Insider named him among the top 10 most influential people for changing the face of the internet. In February 2011, he was listed in the Forbes 30 Under 30 for the impact he has made on the blogging world. Apart from his work at WordPress, Matt is also a philanthropist. He supports a number of organizations like Free Software Foundation, Innocence Project, Long Now, Archive.org, and Electronic Frontier Foundation. He also advocates for clean and safe drinking water for those living in developing countries. Talk about putting your money to good use. Matthew's is a story that shows that passion can certainly take you places and help you reach new heights than anything you could have dreamed up, and is certainly an inspiration to us all. You may also not find Matt drowned in books. But actually, he reads a lot. The interesting fact is, he loves to keep reading 3 to 4 books simultaneously. As a result, he prefers Kindle or his phone over paper books. He also listens to audiobooks during driving or jogging. He believes books help people being better humans, make them set their resolutions right. Before there was Kylie Jenner, there was Alexandra Andresen. In our latest series, we've been talking about the lives of billionaires and millionaires who aren't too much in the spotlight, but have made massive impacts in their fields and have earned quite a pretty penny doing so. Alexandra Andresen is one such example. Why? Alexandra earned the title of the youngest billionaire in the world at just 19 years of age, and her financial success has only gotten better and better since then. However, you might be wondering, who in the world is Alexandra Andresen? And how did she obtain such a massive amount of wealth? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in the video coming up. See you then.